Hello, everyone. I hope you can see me. This is Pavan Mirla. This is my first time LinkedIn live stream, so I might make some mistakes here and there, but but I have a lot of value to offer today. Thanks for joining me. All right, uh, a bit about me. Maybe I am a AI uh, data scientist. I have a consulting firm. I consult for hedge funds, primarily building AI models for their quant models, quantitative analytics, for example. All right. So today's agenda is to learn about agents. Let's look at the agenda quickly. We will be covering what happened in AI agent space in last week, last 10 days. So I have curated content and I have listed here those headlines that I thought had big impact because AI agent frameworks are evolving very quickly. There are so many new job opportunities in this space that a lot of people are not aware of. So I want to share what I know with the audience. So before we begin, I want you to take a quiz. Can you scan this? This will lead to a form. I will paste it in the URL here, or the better thing. I am wondering how to add a chat here. Um, can you folks see the URL? Can anyone tell me if they're able to see the uh, form here? I added a link to the form. Can you folks open up the form and answer this question? Guess the ticker. I have hidden the ticker. You need to guess. I will wait for 10 seconds. Can someone message me as soon as they are able to make an entry? There could be issues with permissions. I'm not sure. So, can someone in the group? Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So, can you answer that question? I will quickly see the results. Okay. So, these are the questions. All right. So, let's see. This stock rose 8% after earnings. And why am I showing this? This is a company, Cloudflare, that has now launched ability to create MCP server, that is agentic server on their cloud infrastructure. They announced that many companies have already started using their cloud platform to create MCP agents. These are model context protocol agents. I will give you more information about those. Make a note of it. MCP, Model Context Protocol. I assume some of you already know it, but this was a major news. The stock rose 8% after that announcement that several companies have started using their platform. So do check it out. There are so many new jobs that are created because of the AI agentic opportunity. So I will touch upon those. All right. Let me see if I can have a look at how many people answered that. So I see some of them have answered NVIDIA. No, the answer was Cloudflare. If you have not heard of Cloudflare, do check it out. It could be an investment opportunity or even opportunity to specialize in. They have been known for providing security infrastructure for hosting websites. Now that they have these agentic capabilities, their platform is now much popular because when we develop AI agents, we need to authorize them, we need to give them permissions to do things. So when a company specializes and focuses on security, they have an advantage. So make a note of it. Net. All right. So let's move on to the topic that I found interesting. Let's start with the Cloudflare, since we are already discussing Cloudflare. Cloudflare helps Anthropic and leading tech companies to unlock real AI agent experiences through Claude. I assume you're familiar with Anthropic. You're familiar with Claude. Cloudflare, in the color. So Cloudflare, let's call it Cloudflare. Cloudflare is providing the infrastructure to create AI agents. Let's look at the news article here. Okay, let's open that link. So here we go. I will copy these links in the chat also so that you can open it from your end. Here, Cloudflare has listed companies that have already started using their infrastructure to create AI agents. And before that, let's talk a little bit about MCP. MCP is a standard framework that is emerging to let humans talk to agents and let agents talk to tools, so that instead of having n tools, n agents talking to n other agents, you just have a common framework like a hub. You speak to the hub, and other tools that are connected to the hub then communicate with each other. So that in short is MCP. That's a Model Context Protocol. This is a framework that is emerging to make it easy to let agents talk to each other. So let's look at an example with Asana, Atlassian, Intercon, PayPal. All these are major companies. Look at Stripe. This suggests that this is no more just an experiment. It is all real. Companies have already started using NCP to communicate, to let their clients query and let the LLM reason out and give responses relevant to the client's context. So check it out. Check out the Stripe one especially. There are a few examples here with Cloudflare where you can build your first MCP server. It's a one-click button. They have templates, so you should check it out. So in a detailed session, we will walk through how this is built. But today, the focus is on just covering top headlines that I think are worth noticing. All right, so quick recap. So Cloudflare is a hosting company that has cloud infrastructure. It helps clients connect to various applications. For example, uh, I am talking to Stripe. Stripe uses maybe Cloudflare infrastructure to host agentic server. The agentic server is smart enough to understand the context of the question and return back the response to the client. So, so major companies are now using Cloudflare. So do check it out. Okay, the next one. This is a blog from a very well-known venture capital A16. They they spoke about the developments in AI and what is leading to these developments and how the ecosystem of client interaction, server responses, and every other aspect of the technology ecosystem is changing. So, 9 key developments. Let's have a look at those. I think I have a note here. I will quickly. All right. Okay, I'm looking for the section where I had some curated notes. Okay, one second. Okay, here we go. The first thing is okay, here version control. The key takeaway is version control with AI agents will be different from the version control that we are used to. In the traditional way of managing code, we were always concerned of the code itself, but never the outcome. In future, when we use a version control system, we need to have more details as to who the agent is, what is he authorized to do, what permissions does he have, the prompts that the agent is allowed to use. So this is a huge transition from how we use version control today to how the version control will be in an agentic system. No more just code. We will be adding context to our repository of information. And the focus is not on repository for code, but the focus will be on what's the outcome and what permissions the agent gets. The second thing, dashboards. The static dashboard will disappear. The dashboard will adapt to the context. So agents will help us design new types of dashboards. So I will not go through all the details, but just wanted to give a quick idea of how the agentic system ecosystem is evolving. So quick revision. So the version control system, the way we are familiar with capturing code in version system will change. We will use metadata, we will use context, we will use authorizations, we'll use outcomes and logs, successes, rewards, failures, all that will be part of the version control. Dashboards will disappear, then we'll have adaptive dashboards. Now, the other important thing is documents will not be static anymore. So we are used to seeing Google Docs, but in future, very near future, we will have vector databases along with documents. All the documents should be able to provide information to the agents. The end consumer is no more just the reader or the human. The end customer will now be the agent. So the way we structure agents will change. All these are important because this will lead to new jobs. If someone is looking for a career in AI, it's not just about building AI models, it's about understanding the ecosystem, where the need is, how these tools are evolving. And that's where you got to be creative in finding clients, finding jobs. starting companies. And other fourth aspect, I will not go through all the one, but the top four. In terms of credentials, we now have access to any system just based on username, password. But in future, agents will ask for resources. So we got to be prepared for that requirement where the end user now is not the end human, not only the human, it's the agent. So the agent should be authorized to maybe access certain sections of a certain document. So all those have to be designed. It gets too difficult. Imagine you have 20,000 customers. In such scenario, model context protocol helps. We can go through the details, but in short, model context protocol is just a system, like imagine like a hub and spoke. Instead of talking to all other agents, you talk to the core component. You provide the connection to the core component, and other agents connect to the component, and then they interact. All right. So that's what it is. So let's recap. We spoke about and did I give the link to this? Probably not. So I will give the link in the chat window. All right. So it is very well written article. They cover all these aspects in very detail. All right. So first we covered Cloudflare as a MCP server. I'm repeating this because this could be new topic, but this sets the context. So we are concentrating on AI agents, and we are discussing the top headlines in last 1 week. So we covered Cloudflare. Next, we went through the venture capital document where they spoke about how the technology stack itself is changing, how there are new protocols, just like how we had TCP/IP. Now we have model context protocol, agent to agent communication protocol. So these are frameworks from top companies, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. Okay, the third one, S&P Global AI Chief eyes exciting pace of agentic AI innovation. So before that, I go to the next slide. So do you have any questions? Can you copy paste your question there in the chat window? Please don't hesitate. No, I am doing it for the first time. So I'm trying to be of as much value as possible to you folks. So any question here, I will wait for 2 seconds. So are you folks able to open the link? If so, if I don't have any question, I will cover the next section. This is about S&P Global. S&P Global is a data company. They give ratings to companies based on uh, their creditworthiness and others. They have indices. They sell their data to financial firms. Let's see what the chief of AI says. Global S&P Global AI chief eyes exciting pace of agentic AI innovation. They are actively using agentic AI. It's not just AI. They had acquired a company called Kensho a few years ago. S&P works quite extensively on natural language text. So they distill information to be easy enough to be consumed by investment managers. Instead of sending 100 pages, they summarize the key insight and they pass it on to their clients. Now with agentic AI, they are able to provide much more context. When they give an insight, they also give context. And they're able to do that with with agentic systems. I will copy the link here. All right. So what I liked here was they are using their existing knowledge with all the new advancements. I think those who use their domain knowledge and expertise will benefit the more. So if you're familiar with some tool and you enhance it with AI, you are at a better advantage than someone who is starting new. Domain knowledge here is most important, and that's where companies like S&P 500 who specialize in a niche domain but add an agentic layer on top of their existing offerings will benefit. Do check out this site because it gives a lot of information on how they have designed the agentic system in their existing infrastructure. All right, so next one. This is about building AI voice agents for production. This is a Coursera course. If you are interested in voice agents, do check it out. So I will copy the link here. It is a 50-minute course, but using LiveKit, you can create a website that can answer customer questions with real-time voice. So, this is quite handy. This could be useful for portfolio managers or even someone looking for entrepreneurial opportunities. In future, we need not drop a call just because there was no one to answer. If we have a voice agent that is easy to set up, it is not very difficult. So you can have an automated response when you are not able to respond to a client's request. It could be a portfolio manager, it could be a real estate agent. So this is quite useful. Have a look at Live Kit, and then next one. So we have uh, four more slides to go. AI can also be used in real estate, right? But it has not seen many use cases in the regular AI, which was pattern matching. But with agentic frameworks, new content can be created with generative AI, and contextual routing is possible with agentic systems, where, for example, a real estate agent um, has to respond to a client's request. Maybe he can delegate that question to someone who's familiar with it. So, a lot of use cases on AI and agentic system in real estate. So, do have a look at this. All right. So, next one. All this is good. In terms of technology, we are advancing very quickly. We have agentic frameworks, we have uh, new new recommendations to be able to communicate with different agents. But what if we are crippled by regulations? This is a big problem because there are many industries where AI agents are not a good fit. If the industry is regulated, better use a deterministic system that is already working, but use AI agents just to improve maybe operations. So you need to keep track of how the government, how the regulations are being made to handle this situation where it's not only the human that is making decisions, but the agents are contributing to this. So be aware that AI agents are not a good use case in all industries. This is a special case where California regulator weakens AI rules, giving big tech more leeway to track you. This is a positive development for AI agents, but this may not be the case in our context. So do have a look at this interesting article on how governments supporting companies might help fasten innovation. Otherwise, we will be crippled because we can't access data, we can't do these decisions that are semi automated. All right. The next one is about the threats. So we spoke about how agents are good, how stock market is rewarding companies that are doing good in AI agents. But what are the threats? There are very well known or not well known threats that that we should be aware of. Bad actors are using the same AI tools. So how do we address that situation? So there are many open questions. This is where there are many companies that are exploring this space. So several investment opportunities, and look up for job opportunities in this space, because when agents have to be verified, validated, inspected, there is need for humans. There is need for humans to build tools. Agents are not built by themselves. So you got to, this is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs, for students, because agents will be everywhere. So we need people who can build these agents, verify them, and monitor them. So do check out. This is a article from Palo Alto Networks. As you see, AI agents are no more experiment. Many companies have already started using it, and they have already deployed. It's not probably actively in production, but these unit tests in some form are already there. All right, next one, Tesla. Tesla, as we know, is a AI company. Tesla introduces AI-powered phone support for Tesla insurance, reducing wait times and cutting costs. This could be replicated in any industry. So I will copy the link to Tesla here in the chat. Okay, so they have also listed how it is benefiting them and also some issues with that. All right. The next one, strategic shift from RPA to autonomous AI systems. We have had RPA. Is agentic system RPA? What is RPA? RPA is a rules-based automation. It is a workflow design and assume that the workflow fits in all situations. It lacks the context. But with AI agents, the big difference is that we are able to now add context, and we are able to delegate the task either to a human or to another agent. The agent is now able to communicate to the external world, to the internal systems. So that's a big change. RPA can also connect with external systems and internal systems, but it lacks context. It cannot generate information that is relevant to the current query. So have a look up on how RPA companies are now adding a layer of intelligence with AI agents. So RPA will continue to exist, but it will evolve and it will lead to new opportunities. Another space for investment. There are several companies in RPA space that are now evolved to use AI. So have a look at RPA companies like Pega, etc., where they're using AI agentic frameworks on top of RPA. Another example of massive number of job opportunities in this space, because the automation, though is rules based, it has to be verified, authenticated, deployed, and integrated into existing systems. So there is a lot of work to be done. All right, and AI agents are also now showing immense results in biopharma. It's not RPA. Biopharma, So the article talks about the benefit of using agentic system in drug discovery. Okay, I copied the link there. All right, let me see how many we have left. So we'll cover, this is slide number, okay, Tesla agentic system. So slide number 12, we have three more left. All right, now OpenAI and the FDA are holding talks about using AI in drug evaluation. This is a big news. FDA process is a long process for approvals. If they are using agentic system to cut the operations cost, it could be in dollars or time, then this is worth noting. So companies that are in the drug approval pipeline are worth monitoring because their approval rates could be much faster now. So I will uh, send this out to the chat. Have a look at this. All right. OpenAI system. All right. Sequoia Capital had a conference last week of researchers in AI. A lot of interesting conversations. Do bookmark this one. They called it Ascent 2025. What I like the most, here we go. They talk about not only the technology, but the evolution of an agentic economy. Agents will be able to shop on our behalf. Agents will research on our behalf. We can sell agentic services. We can host an agent that does market survey, and a real estate agent could buy that insight from us instead of building an agent themselves. That's where the new opportunities are. An agentic economy is evolving. They talk about how agents need to have persistent identity, just like how humans have persistent identity. Lot of insights. Do have a look. They also talk about need for power. Many interesting discussions talk about reinforcement learning based inference at test times. I copied the link in the chat window. Okay. And finally, gaming. I am not into gaming, but this caught my attention as I try to understand what it is. I have some notes, I think, here. Okay. PvP gaming, person versus person gaming. Since I'm not into gaming, I used to wonder what's the fun in looking at staring at monitors and playing for such a long time, the same repeated thing. What I was missing was the understanding that these gamers are competing in real time with other people. It's not just the gamer competing with the software. There are teams who are competing against each other. So the higher level of challenge and unpredictability is what attracts the PvP gamers. The PvP is person to person or team to team gamers. Imagine an agentic system that can help you get rewards. If this were to be programmed, it is a lot of rules based programming. Instead of that, this company, Goat Gaming, has developed an AI agent that handles all the payment, all the transactions, creating of new content, automated messaging, contextual messaging, issuing stable coins for your rewards. So that's where blockchain comes in. So I see evolution towards or integration of Web3 along with the AI agentic system. All right. So that's what we covered most of our topics. So we spoke about AI agents, how different companies are adapting to it, new frameworks that are coming up. I had prepared few slides here to make it much more engaging, but since we are short of time, I will uh, I will skip that section. All right. So anyways, so are there any questions before we end the live streaming? Are there any questions? I can maybe replace them. Okay, I will add another text here. Okay. So any questions for me? Yeah, if there are no questions, then we can once again. I will check if there are any questions for me here. Okay. All right. So thank you all for attending this live webinar or live LinkedIn stream. So please give me feedback and let's message if we could adapt, change, add few things. All right. Okay. Thank you for attending this live session. I hope it was helpful. Okay then.